And good afternoon. Welcome to Hot Jobs with us here at Hire Military. How are you all this afternoon? Hopefully doing okay if it's super hot where you are today. Today with me is Amber Picklin. I am Lucy Robinson. We are the recruiters at Hire Military, and we are here to bring you some incredible opportunities for transitioning service members, military spouses, and our veterans across the nation. Please don't forget to check the links in the description where you'll find so many helpful resources and upcoming events. So we have the USO webinar that Mike Quinn, our CGO, delivers, which is all about how to create an effective LinkedIn profile. You have links to our website, which demonstrate and show you how to target your resume or share other really useful resources, specifically as an example for military spouses, how to use your volunteer experience to help get that next role. If you have come to us with a question in the past, it is likely that we have created something around that question to give you a solution, to give you advice, to give you that information. So do check out our website. It's here. It's hiremilitary.us. It has all of that information that I just mentioned, as well as all of the direct hire roles, so the permanent positions that we will be talking about today, as well as so many more, and our SKILLBRIDGE internship opportunity. So before we get going, we always want to hear from you. Hey, Dion, I can see you in the chat already. It's so lovely to see you. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And also, if it's your first time here, we would love to know that you are here. Tell us first time, because we want to recognize, celebrate, and welcome you. And if you have any questions for us at all, specifically about what we may be talking about, or about the job search, about the resume, about the SKILLBRIDGE internship or CSP internship, anything to do with job searching, seeking in this military community, we want to be able to help you. Amber, how are you today?
I'm great, Lucy. How are you?
I'm not bad. I'm trucking along. We're getting there. It's nearly the end of the day. We were going to, just after I say hi to Sterling, welcome. Lovely to have you in Texas, no less. I know it's super hot there right now. Brian, you're in Texas too. Great to have you both. We were going to talk about knockout questions today, weren't we?
Yes. I love knockout questions.
We love knockout questions, but it feels like other people don't. So what is a knockout question? That's a great question. Ultimately, when you make an application to a role and you submit your resume, often you will have 3 or 4 questions that is asked of you as you make your application. So as an example, if it says we're looking for 5 years worth of experience, we're looking for this certification, and we're looking for somebody who's done X, Y, and Z, the questions then will reposition themselves to say, have you done this? Do you have this? Have you got this? And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why we ask. And let's share from a recruiter's perspective, because both Amber and I use them. I use them fairly heavily just to identify when people make applications, that at a glance, when we get so many resumes come through, it's really nice to be able to look at the answers to those questions. And I normally do yes, no ones. I don't ask people to write War and Peace. It's kind of like yes, no, yes, no. And so I can see at a glance what I am going to expect when I get to the resume. It's like, okay, this person's got these 3 things, but they don't have this thing. And really, when we ask those questions, we ordinarily ask the deal breakers for the role. Mm-hmm. Because if there's any no's there, we know that we know not to get our hopes up, and we know that the candidate probably isn't going to be a great one. In terms of what we are looking for that position. Great people, but just not necessarily a strong or competitive candidate for that specific role. And what gets our goat a little, or is a little bit frustrating, and we've been having conversations about this the last week or so, is when somebody says yes, yes, yes to the questions, and then we get super excited because we're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a great candidate. I can't wait to take a look. You're already mentally working out when you can put them on your calendar. If I see them today, I'll be able to create their application and get them over to our client. This is great. So we're already there. We've already submitted you in our heads. And then we get to the resume and we're like, oh, well, that's no fun. That's not cool. And Amber, I'm going to hand over to you, because why do you think that? What happens then?
I mean, ultimately, then I can't do anything with you got my hopes up and I got so excited. But I mean, ultimately, the knockout questions are there for a reason. So, for example, a role that I'm recruiting for requires a top secret clearance. That is a non-negotiable knockout question that I put on the application process, because the client has said, we've already had the conversation. They cannot host the clearance. They can't upgrade you from a secret. They can't provide you a TS if you don't already have one. They want only candidates with a TS clearance. So if I put that knockout question in the application, and then I get applicants who fill out yes to everything and say they have one, but then I go to the resume or even get into the first interview and they say, yeah, I know I said yes, but I don't have one, and I was hoping they would get me one. You've not only wasted my time, but you've also wasted your time, because I can't do anything. I have to stick to what the client has asked from us, because that's what our job is, what we get paid to do. So,
And it is about that. It's not, I mean, yes, it's a waste of our time. It's a waste of your time as well. We've gone through. The thing is, ordinarily, if we could deviate, if there was wiggle room, as someone positioned it to me a week or so ago, we would tell you. When we take the roles from our clients, we ask all of these questions up front. We ask what the absolute baseline is. We ask what the deal breakers are. We ask what they really need as essentials and what are nice to haves. And we reflect that in our job description so that you can see that when we position it to you. We take an awful lot of time and energy creating that based on the conversations that we have had to share information that ordinarily you wouldn't see on a job description if you were just looking at it on their website. And that includes we host the salary as well, because we want to make sure that people know the ballpark that they're playing in and the sort of salary range that they can expect for the role that we are advertising for. So it's a real bummer for us as recruiters when somebody checks 3 yeses and you're like, oh my gosh, my system says 3 out of 3. And you're like, yes, I'm excited. And you go and you're like, none of this information that they've checked that they've had or they have is reflected in the resume at all. And often, old eyes, they fail us. I do a Control F if I am looking for, I don't know, let's be indicative here, NetSuite. I'll do a Control F to look for NetSuite just to make sure that I haven't missed it. And it's not in there. So there's a couple of things at play here. Either people haven't targeted their resumes and they've hit yes, but they haven't given us a really solid competitive resume. So they are effectively eliminating themselves, or they're telling a little bit of a porcupine, a little bit of an untruth on the application in the hope to get through to us. So we just wanted to open up that conversation today just to share the reasons why, so that you understand from our perspective. It's not about beating the ATS or getting one over on the ATS. We are all people, and the resumes that you submit through to us and most companies are read by a human. It's about us knowing who you are as a candidate and if you are going to be or going to have a competitive application for us to support moving forward. Hire Military is right. We have had so many new people here today. Hey, Andrew, Kenny, it's lovely to see you. Robert, you've been here before, but great to have you back. Ryan, Roland, Felix, Charles, Daniel, gosh, you name it. Jonathan, Sacramento's in the house. Great to have you involved. If you are not familiar, we share all of our newest permanent positions and SKILLBRIDGE internship opportunities. We will share a little about who SKILLBRIDGE is eligible and available to. I also see a veteran wife there, Samantha. Lovely to have you with us. And we will also share a couple of roles that we have with our corporate sponsors. And I'm going to go into the first one today. So as I am talking, if any of this sounds like it's of interest to you, you think, oh, I'd like to hear a bit more about that, you've got a couple of options. You can DM either Amber or me separately. We'd be very happy to share the link with you. Or you can post a comment as we are talking. And as soon as we finish this live, we will come back and we will share the URL to the role. LinkedIn doesn't like us sharing URLs live. It deletes them as soon as we hit the enter button and you see an empty comment and you wonder what's going on. That's the reason why. So we'll come back if you are interested. Or you can be a super motivated job seeker and go on to our website at hiremilitary.us. And like I mentioned before, we really do share the wave tops here. We do not share all of the roles that we have, and our roles change daily. So one thing I will say to you is, if you don't see anything that's of interest to you, totally get it, I understand. But do bookmark our page or join our talent pipeline so that we can share our newest roles with you as we get them. But also, and a lot of people have been culprits of this recently, they've told me they're interested. I've sent the link. And then when they are ready to apply, they've come back to me and said, oh, the link's gone. The reason that the link has gone is because we have closed the applications, because either we have filled it or our clients have got a sufficient number of candidates on interview. So if something sounds like it's of interest, especially in the economy that we are in right now, jump on it, or at least drop us a message and say, hey, I'm really interested. I've got everything that you're looking for. I will be submitting my application tomorrow, tonight, the next day, so that we know that possibly, and then we can let you know if it looks like it's going to close. So Amber, before I get going into my roles, do you have anything that you want to share, or am I good to go and get started?
No, you're good to go, Lucy. I will just say, just to, jump on kind of what you said. And as we go on with these roles, like Lucy said, if something sounds even just slightly interesting, right? There's only so much you can put in a job description. Be open to the conversation. You will not hurt yourself by reaching out and saying, you know what, this sounds a little interesting. I'd like to hear more. Can I set up a call? Can I set up a conversation? Because you never know what you're going to find out in that conversation. And I'm telling you, and I can say this from personal experience, when you sit in an interview with someone or a few people from a company and it just clicks, it does. It makes all the difference. And so, yes, so I just ask everybody, be open in your job search, talk to everybody. Yeah, that's what I have, Lucy.
Be open, be willing, be open to new things. Yeah. Don't be so pigeonholed, like, I am leaving the military, I am going to do this. There are so many positions out there that you haven't even heard of, and you possibly won't for the next 5-10 years. So many companies out there that you haven't heard of either. And I'm about to introduce one of those to you right now. Heritage Roofing and Construction. They are all over Central Texas. And if you follow Mike Quinn, who works with me and Amber, our Chief Growth Officer and founder of Higher Military, you will have seen that he made a phenomenal post today on LinkedIn about this. So we have got account management, sort of project management roles, really involving promoting and selling roofing products for their company. They are looking for a military candidate. They want the skill set and the values that our community embodies to bring into their company. And this is a role for somebody who is outgoing, who is keen and quick to develop relationships, who can jump up a ladder because there's a bit of a roof inspection, but ultimately help find solutions for people who have had their roofs affected by storms. So we are coming into the major season right now. They're very, very busy season, and they are looking to bring new people on board. If you've seen Mike's post, the sky's the limit when it comes to the salary here. He said, the top earner last year made just shy of 1 million, and that isn't made up money. That is absolutely what they do and can pay. So if you are in Central Texas, if you are looking for a role where you can embody your military skills, you can manage and build your own calendar, you definitely can work off your own volition, and you've got a huge amount of innovation and initiative, connect with us and we will share some more information about this company and about the position. A couple of things are, you have to be comfortable climbing a ladder and you have to have access to a truck. So that's our first role. That's the account manager there at Heritage Roofing and Construction. Second, if you post active duty or later on, you're a veteran, you've been out for a little while, and you're looking to really grasp an entrepreneurial opportunity, we work with an organization called GPC Food Services. They are the company that you never knew existed, but you know their product. They run and manage all of the kiosks in grocery stores across the US. That deli that you see, that cut produce counter that you see, that sushi counter that you see, those are all franchise opportunities. They are not run by the grocery stores themselves, and they have opportunities across the whole of the US. And we can offer this in either a SKILLBRIDGE or a direct hire role. And we've had lots of people show interest in this, really because it is the opportunity and the ability to start your own company, to have something for yourself, but really still with arms around you in terms of the support and the training of a much larger national company. So if that sounds like it could be of interest, please do drop a comment below. You can put GBC Food Services and we will share the detail with you. Right, on to some of the roles that I am recruiting for right now. If we are friends and we've known each other for a while, you will know that up until about maybe 7-8 weeks ago, I lived on Eielson Air Force Base, just outside of Fairbanks, Alaska. And I lived there for 3 years. And not once did we take a role whilst I was there on the installation. Well, sure as anything, now that I'm here in North Carolina, I have a range engineer role on Eielson, working with one of our corporate partners. So this is a GovCon role. And this candidate is going to provide network and system engineering expertise, supporting the Joint Alaska-Pacific Range Complex and the Red Flag Alaska program. If you've been in Alaska, if you've been in Anchorage or Fairbanks, you'll be very familiar with Red Flag. So really, we are looking for somebody with a bachelor's in network engineering or electronics and about at least 3 years experience in systems engineering. So if that sounds like you, if you're like, yep, I definitely want to move somewhere where the snow is on the ground 8 months of the year, the aurora is out about 8 months of the year, you get a summer for about 3 months, then that role is for you. Connect with me. I would love to have a chat with you about it. In addition, for the same organization, I have 2 more roles. One of them is in Guam. So you will see a theme here. This is PACAF throughout, well, PACAF is Air Force, so Pacific Forces Air Force. So we are recruiting a program manager at Andersen Air Force Base in Guam. So if you fancy heading out to Guam, being on island for a couple of years, this may be for you. So we're looking for somebody with broad leadership experience in a range training environment. You really do need to have excellent customer service, relationship management skills, and solid project management skills as well. Business analytics would be super helpful too. Ideally, you'll have about 5 years of government contracting experience on a program like this. You will be familiar with the Air Force. We ideally need somebody from the Air Force for this role. And you will have significant experience maintaining accountability for projects. So we are looking at project health as an example. So cost performance index, so CPIs, schedule performance index, key performance indicators. If you are the type of person that we are looking for, please do connect with me or drop a comment below. If you fancy going out to Andersen Air Force Base, Guam, living in the sunshine and the breeze for a few years, then this role could be for you. And then finally, today from me, I have, moving from one sunshine, from the snow to the sunshine to more sunshine, we have got a role at Hickam Air Force Base in Hawaii. So this is a PACAF SME role. You really ideally need to have PACAF experience here as well. And this one is looking at inputs to Combat Air Force's test and training range roadmaps and mission support plans. So you'll be collecting, documenting, assessing, validating, and prioritizing requirements and tech specifications even, that's a hard word, for combat air crew training systems. So you really need to have solid knowledge and understanding of tactical or electronic ranges, and also knowledge of threat manning systems to include manned and unmanned simulators. If that sounds like your military experience, probably your Air Force experience, and you think, you know, I could do Hawaii, I could go back out to Hickam again for a couple of years, definitely get in touch. We'd love to share more detail with you. Finally, I do have that I'm recruiting for today a finance role. This is an inventory accountant. This is in Northwest Dallas in Farmers Branch. So Farmers Branch, Texas, we are looking for an accountant that's got experience in supply chain, but also NetSuite. NetSuite is the deal breaker on that one. And that is what we are looking for right now for a large food services company down there. So if you have accountant experience, if you have worked in supply chain or similar, and you have the NetSuite, definitely get in touch. Finally, we've got a couple of new roles nationally with an organization called Horizon Strategies. if you are either on Peterson Space Force Base, Colorado, or Fort Riley, Kansas, they are looking to hire VA TAP benefits advisors. Those roles are listed on our website and you will be able to see more information there, but we can share that with you as well if you are looking. Also, if you ever thought about law enforcement in your future, firefighting, EMT, any kind of first response kind of career, we are able to connect you with an organization that has opportunities nationwide across those. So that is with National Testing Network. They are recruiting police officers, firefighters, EMTs, and dispatch operators nationally. The jobs are on our website. You will just see police officer nationwide. Go in. All you have to do is throw in your name and address, well, name and telephone number even, and we will pass your details on and they will get in touch with you to go through the process. So that was a lot. I feel like I've spoken for a solid 10 minutes. Head over to highermilitary.us to find all of these roles and so many more. Do join the talent pool while you're there so that we can connect with you. We can find you. We know that you are looking. And that is the easiest way to stay in touch with us. You'll get job recommendations as and when we send them out, and you will be the first in the know for any new opportunities that arise. Amber, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Perfect. All right, everyone. I am going to talk about our SKILLBRIDGE internships or career skills program. If you're Army, you'll have heard that term. Our internships for those active duty service members who are transitioning off of active duty within the next, we'll say 6 to 8 months. So if you're unsure on whether you qualify for SKILLBRIDGE, it is only for active duty service members within their last 180 days of service. So essentially it's a stepping stone for our transitioning service members to conduct or be on an internship prior to leaving active duty in hopes of securing a full-time role after the internship. If you have any questions about SKILLBRIDGE or timelines or anything like that, feel free to send me a message. I'll be happy to answer any questions. And if you want to learn more than just the roles I'm going to talk about, please go to our website, highermilitary.us, and you can find all of our SKILLBRIDGE internships listed under the job opportunities link. So the first role that I have, we are working with a fantastic company called SkillStorm. You probably, if you've been on here before, you've seen us advertise for our July cohort. Well, we have 2 more that opened up. We are starting a cohort on September 23rd as well as November 18th. And we are looking for personnel who want to be AWS Solutions Architect. This is a fantastic program in that it is 12 weeks of SKILLBRIDGE where you're going to learn A+, Net+, and Sec+, followed by another 12 weeks of paid training where you will be trained in AWS. Once that is complete, you will be put on contract with SkillStorm and deployed to either one of their clients, a GovCon, one of their Fortune 500 companies that they work with, either in the San Antonio area or the DC metro area for 2 years. Fantastic opportunity. It's the only one I've seen out there like that, where they literally take you, train you through everything that you need, get you certified in 24 weeks, and then put you out on a job for 2 years. It's fantastic. Again, it is September 23rd and November 18th. The absolute must-have, which is non-negotiable, our knockout question, as Lucy and I would say, is you must have a TS clearance for this. You must have one in hand. We can't take anybody with a secret. You have to come with the TS, and the company will maintain your TS for you during your contract period. So if you are interested, send me a message. Let me know. Again, we have September 23rd and November 18th is our next cohort. And if for some reason that's not your timeline, you have a timeline next year, still send me a message because we may have more dates coming. So I would definitely like to hear from you. All right. Our next role is a professional services consultant role. This is a remote role. This is with our partners at Splunk. They are looking for someone who has at least 10 to 15 years experience already working within the cybersecurity field. So really, they want you to have a Bachelor of Science degree in computer science or computer engineering, analytics, or math. They would like if you had some hands-on experience with Splunk products already. 3 to 5 years of consulting or technical consulting experience. And if you have some cloud experience or an AWS certification already, that would be helpful. Linux is a must. So this role is hands-on with the customer, typing in commands. You do have to have already come with the experience that they need for this position, but it is remote. You can be anywhere. They would love to get somebody on the West Coast if they could. No specific clearance required for this one particularly. We do have some on our website similar that do require clearance, but this one does not list one specifically. So if you are interested in that, send me a message, type Splunk in the comments, and I will definitely share the link with you. I have another role with Splunk. This one is a technical success engineer. It is also remote. They would like if somebody was either in Florida or the DC metro area for some on-site visits. This one does require a TS clearance though. Other than that, they would like somebody who has at least 5 years experience in technical support, as well as customer relationships, as well as some strong knowledge of Splunk products or similar Cisco, and experience handling customer issues, project management, IT. Again, this is remote with Splunk, and this one is the technical success engineer, and again, Florida or DC metro would be preferred. And then finally, I just want to quick shout out for these last two that I have because I never want to leave them off my list. Texas Instruments is one of our clients. They are working on their cohort in Leahy, Utah. Utah is absolutely beautiful. If you've ever been, like, it is at postcard worthy, like picture frame worthy. It's gorgeous. They are looking for equipment technicians. So they're really targeting those who have, 3 to 5 years electrical or mechanical experience within the military, wanting to do an internship and learn how to work on microchip processors within their Leahy, Utah lab. And that cohort starts on October 28th. And additionally, we are always looking for aircraft maintenance, avionics maintenance, A&P mechanics, you name it. If you have any experience in the aviation world, we work with a fantastic company called Job Air Group, and they are filling roles all over the nation. We're adding new locations all the time. So we are currently working on Mobile, Pensacola, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Missouri, Everett, Washington, and there is actually a new one in California as well. So if you are an A&P, you're an aspiring aircraft maintenance mechanic, you want to learn about civil aviation, definitely send me a message. I will be more than happy to share that with you. And that is all I have, Lucy.
That's all you have. That's an awful lot, Amber. I've got a couple more that I wanted to share with everybody today. So we work with an awesome, one of my favorite organizations, and they are called Veterans Brands. They are a organization of franchise brands across the US. So they have epoxy flooring, they have parking lot striping, athletic field striping, and they have a residential and commercial paint business. Now, ordinarily, we talk to you about opportunities because they are franchise opportunities and taking on one of those. But we also currently have a SKILLBRIDGE internship as an ops manager working with them for one of the actual very established and probably in the top 3 successful franchises across the country in Dover, Delaware. So if you are in that area or moving back to that area, and that kind of sounds like it could be of interest to you, want to get the skill set, want to learn how they do their work, very much interested, there's full intent to hire. And this is for G-Force Parking Lot Striping and Mach 1. They have the 2 brands there. I would love to connect with you or connect you with Amber so that we can have that conversation, because we do really want to support them and find somebody in that area. Finally, we have Acuity International, and they have OCONUS roles in Iraq. So if you are looking to head back downrange again, get some of that super tax-free pay, we have a firearms instructor or like a simulator operator and technician. So what they're looking for is a drill instructor or OC type that has documented experience in the operating and instructing on simulator systems. So if that sounds of interest, and I know we have people in our community that would like something like this, do connect. We would love to share more with you. Amber, you've been an absolute star. Thank you for your time today. So great to see everybody in the chat. My favorite, Marty Mouse, has been sharing like he works for higher military. So I appreciate you, Marty. That's super cool. We're lacking on our Krista today in the chat. So Marty's definitely taken the reins there. You're a superstar. But that just leaves me to say thank you for joining us. It's so lovely to see your names and your faces as they pop up in the comments. We really enjoy seeing our community, our population, and being able to support any and all of you. We've run out of time, so we will go back through the questions and connect with you online there. But we hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. Take care, and we will see you again next week, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye-bye.